at Disney caught on tape by Local 6. Strangely, this uproar had nothing to do with Disney.
Right. It had to do with jobs, maybe your job or your neighbor's job. At issue, the loss of American jobs when companies send the work overseas, where the labor is so much cheaper. Stephen Cooper was on Disney property when two worlds collided. Stephen?
Well, the idea of sending U.S. jobs overseas is one that elicits a tremendous amount of emotion and passion. And in the story you're about to see, a confrontation that puts Central Florida at the epicenter of a global job quake. This is not your typical Disney parade, but then again, this story has nothing to do with Disney, though Disney was the backdrop for two conferences which were ultimately on a collision course. The Communication Workers of America were meeting at the Royal Plaza Resort, while just down the road, hundreds were gathered for the 2004 Outsourcing World Summit at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club Resort. The timing couldn't be better. Or worse. The CWA strongly opposes the whole idea of offshore outsourcing, a trend in corporate America to send jobs, everything from accounting, human resources, call center, and information technology, overseas where labor costs are lower. Just how strong is the CWA's opposition? See for yourself. The group tried to storm the neighboring conference of outsourcing professionals. Disney staff were stunned by the protest, not sure whether to block our camera or fight the crowd back. By some estimates, over 3 million jobs are expected to be outsourced offshore to places like India, China, and the Philippines over the next several years. Wages in those countries are considerably lower, ranging from $4,000 to $12,000 U.S. annually.
We need our jobs in America, not over India, Pakistan, China, because we got people starving here. Take care of home first.
I think we're trying to send a message to America that we have to keep our jobs here. We can't be sending them overseas to people making a couple of bucks an hour. This country isn't going to survive if we don't stop this.
Not so fast. We're telling you a story, and this story has two sides. And we heard the other side. After law enforcement showed up to break up the protest, we met with the organizer of the outsourcing conference. He says most outsourcing is domestic, from one American company to another.
IBM, EDS, Ryder, Aramark, these are all American household names that are providers of outsourcing services right here in the United States.
According to his organization, offshoring of jobs represents only 2 to 3% of outsourcing. Yet, some studies indicate that offshoring of U.S. jobs could grow by 20 to 40% over the next several years. The question is, where does that leave the American worker? Perhaps hoping, waiting for another industry.
We only suffer in the end if we stop innovating the next technology and creating the next company and creating the next jobs. That's when we'll start suffering.
But what is there that's next?
If I knew that, I'd be a 19-year-old at MIT, and I'm not. I can't sit here and tell you that I know what that next wave is.
That's not exactly a comfort to these folks, but those who support offshoring say we can all be comforted by the numbers. Yes, we've given India alone $14 billion worth of outsourced work, but according to one global consulting firm, India imports over $3 billion in American high-tech goods to support that work, plus billions in other American products that can now be purchased by a growing middle class in India that's been put to work by offshoring. We shared that equation with the protesters.
We need good American jobs in America.
What about the argument that outsourcing actually will benefit our economy in the long run?
That is not a true statement. When you lose jobs in America, you lose the tax base, you lose everything else that is there, you lose the middle class of the United States.
Some studies indicate that offshoring of information technology jobs alone will save the American economy $390 billion by 2010. But again, where will the new jobs come from to replace the IT jobs that are lost? Well, some in government want to reclassify fast food jobs where people make burgers as manufacturing jobs to show a more positive trend in job creation. Well, that won't stop workers from protesting. Several labor groups are planning to picket a human resources outsourcing conference next month in New York City. Back to you guys.